Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler Day. If you don't know who I am, I'm the co-founder of OptimizeToConvert.com. Optimize to Convert is a brand that's all about affiliate marketing. So my brother Peter and I have been in this space since 2012 and have generated 8 figures in affiliate commissions. And what we're up to now is we're still doing affiliate marketing as a business. We're still making money every day from our affiliate campaigns, and we're having record-breaking numbers. But what we like to do is we like to provide value to the channel just to help further along the education of the affiliate marketing community. Speaking of a community, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out our Facebook group, our free community called Affiliates Ask Anything. There's almost 8,000 people in this group now, and basically this is where a lot of the peer-to-peer networking takes place in our community. So if you have a question about anything and you want, me, my brother, or other kind of high-level affiliates to help answer your questions, check out the group. So the group is called Affiliates Ask Anything on Facebook. Okay. Other than that, guys, let's get into the topic for today. So today we're going to be talking about lookalike audiences. Okay. What are lookalike audiences? What are they good for? What are they used for? Let's talk about it, okay? So a lookalike audience is basically a targeting mechanism that Facebook has created to help find customers that are similar, that have either converted on your ads, that have become a lead, that have just clicked on your ad. There's all sorts of different conversion points that you can pick. So let's talk about what lookalike audiences are good for. So on Facebook, you have different targeting options. When you create an ad campaign, you can, usually what most people do is they'll just pick an interest. Like they'll just, let's say that you're promoting like car insurance, they'll just pick the, insurance kind of interest and call it a day. But when you start running ads, you really do have more choices than that as far as the audiences that you're running to. And usually some of the best audiences that you can run to are lookalike audiences. So let's talk about how to create lookalike audiences. So in order to create a lookalike audience, you need to have your pixels placed. So pixels are basically how Facebook tracks data as far as who has taken specific action on your ad. So, it's great to have a pixel on, the first page of your lander. LP just stands for landing page. It's good to have a pixel after somebody completes your lander. And it's great to have a pixel on the final offer conversion. Okay, so, making sure you have these pixels placed is going to enable you to build these lookalike audiences later down the road. And, what you need to have before you create a lookalike audience is you need to have first created a custom, what's called a custom audience, based on your different pixel events, or based on actions, like somebody watching your video or something like that, right? So, creating a custom audience is really the first step after you have your pixels placed. And, a custom audience is basically the shell of, where this data is stored, and then Facebook pulls the data from your custom audiences to create lookalike audiences. So, where you do this, if you're in your Facebook account, go to the audiences section of your account, okay? And from there, you can create a custom audience. So, let's see here. So, in order to create a custom audience, I should have mentioned this before, but Facebook requires a minimum of 100 events, okay? So if you have a pixel placed, for example, on the first page of your landing page after somebody clicks on your ad, Facebook to even allow you to create the custom audience would require you to have at least 100 of those events. Same with, having it placed anywhere else. But, really what I would recommend doing is having more than that. So, only having 100 events is not going to be the best because, basically what Facebook is going to do is it's going to look at the people, these events are really just people. These are people that have taken a specific action on your ad, So really what Facebook needs is it needs at least 100 people to go ahead and create an audience of, let's say, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, something like that, of people that are similar to this sort of seed audience. Okay? But, if you only have 100 events, it's a little bit shaky because that's not the biggest data set in the world. So, ideally, you'd want to have more than this. You'd want to have probably in between, 300 to 500 events. For me, like the bare minimum that I would say would be like 200 events would be the earliest that I would consider setting up a custom audience. But if you have more like this, like if you can get like 1,000 events, that's really good. So, okay, so having the more events that you have, the better your lookalike audience is going to come out. Okay, so you can always create more of these later down the road. Like if you create one at first, once you get more data, you can always just create more of those. Okay, so when it comes down to creating and actually testing these lookalike audiences, you have different options as far as how big the lookalike audience is going to be. So for sizing the lookalike audience, basically how it works is that, let's say, for example, that you pick the 1% of the 1% lookalike. That's basically going to be 1% of whatever region that you've picked. So let's say it's the United States. 1% of the active users in the United States would be somewhere in the range of like, 1 to 2 million, depending on your audience size. Okay. But, the bigger that you go, the bigger the audience is going to be, but it's not going to be necessarily as closely related to your seed audience. So starting with a 1% lookalike audience is going to be the most closely related to your seed audience or your custom audience, right? So what I recommend doing is I recommend creating, basically, you don't need to test, you have basically 10 different sizes, 1 through 10% that you can create for a lookalike audience, but you don't necessarily need to test all of those. To start, I would maybe suggest testing 1%, 3%, 5%, and 7%, and just kind of see what works. Usually different pockets of traffic will convert and others won't. So maybe, the 1% doesn't convert, but the 3% does, or maybe the 3% doesn't convert, but the 7% does. And, once you have a proven ad, that's when you really, go into this lookalike audience testing. So, I should make a note of that. So before you start testing lookalike audiences, you must have first a proven ad. So, if you're just testing like completely unproven ads and testing all these lookalike audiences, you might just burn your budget because, you need to have a creative, good, compelling ad before you actually go into the audience testing. So, that's why phase 1, I always say, is creative testing. So phase 1 is basically testing like 50 different creatives are just images or videos or ad copy. but mostly we're talking about images or video here, right? And, once you have picked which creative is the best, that's when you go into testing these different audiences. So, let's say that you find like image 43 out of 50 is the best image or something like that. Phase 2 would be, picking that winning creative and testing all the different lookalike audiences. So really what the plan of action should be is to basically test these different custom audience, seed audiences as they become available. So actually the pixel that you have placed on your first page of the landing page would be the first thing, because after you get just a couple hundred clicks on the ad or whatever, you're going to be able to start setting up that lookalike audiences. Then after somebody finishes your landing page, that would be the next one. You'd probably need some more clicks to come in depending on what your landing page conversion rate is. If you're converting the landing page at say like 30%, then you would need probably like 600 clicks to start setting up that pixel audience. That would kind of get us to that $200 200 event minimum number. And then, last but not least, the final offer conversion would probably be the last thing that you would test, and it would require a significant budget, probably several $1,000s of ad spend in order to actually get several hundred conversions on the actual offer. Let's say that your offer pays $10. You'd need to spend like $2,000 in order to get 200 conversions on the offer. So test them as they become available, right? And when you're just testing in the beginning, when you're just trying to find your proven ad, just test with interest. Just test, the closest related interest to what you're advertising, right? So if it's like car insurance, maybe you just pick that insurance interest or whatever it is, right? Okay, so these are just some tips as far as, lookalike audiences here. I realize that some of this might be kind of advanced for some of you guys. So if you're looking for just some more beginner training on Facebook, as far as just really just starting from square one and just starting from, setting up your account all the way to, explaining all these different things and, setting up your first ad campaign, starting to test, starting to scale, then you should really be checking out our course, the Social Lead Gen Blueprint. This is a $249 course. Generally speaking, we've sold courses for $2,500, so this is a very good value comparatively. So go ahead and check out this course, and also check out our case studies. We show a campaign that actually produced us profit. One of these case studies is only $7, so sort of a no-brainer. Also, if you want help doing this, I provide one-on-one coaching. So if you want me to really hold your hand and help you through all the different issues that you're having as far as getting profitable with affiliate marketing, I'm more than happy to do that, guys. So anyways, hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.